Good morning, here, Year 4. Here is your maths lesson for Thursday, the 15th of July. Okay, one of my last videos for you, and it's a brand new unit. And we're going to do a couple of lessons, but these are the Coco and Colin lessons, so they're quite short. So I've tried to double up a little bit. If you can only manage one lesson, just do the one today, but I put both activities because they're so closely linked. So we're moving on to looking at coordinates and using grids. And this will really help because we've just been looking at some time graphs and bar charts. So we know about axes, but today we're looking at coordinates when we're using those squares. So we're going to be using coordinates to describe the position of a point in the first quadrant today. So I'm going to just show you what the grid I'm talking about looks like. And the grid I would like you to look at is the one on the board where you can see this X and this Y. This looks very, very similar from the bar charts and the time graphs that we've been using, except the numbers are already there. Now, when the numbers are already there and they're from 0 up to in increments of 1, and they are just grids, we call these coordinates. And what we can do is we can plot things on them. So it's not quite the same as reading each axis, like the grids that we were using, but we can use them to describe positions of points and where things are. So there are 5 different, or no, there's 6 different actually, 6 different shapes on here, star, cross, triangle, and so on. How could we describe where they are? How do you think we could use the numbers to help us explain? Just have a think about it. I would say have a chat with your partner, but you don't have a partner with you at the moment. Okay, what we can actually do when we have these grid references or these coordinates is we can use the numbers at the bottom and the numbers at the side to describe where they are. And there is one key thing that we need to remember. And when I was at school, we were always taught it's along the corridor and then up the stairs. Or with our alphabet, it's X first and then the Y. So anything on the X and the letter X comes before the letter Y, the X will come first. So if I'm describing this triangle, I'm going to be using my X number and then my Y number. So 2, 1. And I'd actually just write that out in brackets. I'd have a bracket, a 2, and I'm going to use a comma and then a 1 and then close brackets. So that's my triangle. Let's have a look at another one. Let's have a look at this circle. So the circle, if I go down on my x-axis, it's a 6. On my y, it's a 2. So it's going to be 6, comma 2. Have a go and see if you can work out a couple of the other shapes. Okay, lovely. So this one was the triangle. This one was the circle. Let's have a go at the cross. Do one more with you. So the cross, if you got 3, 5 for the cross, then give yourself a tick on that one. Okay, I'm not going to do the rest of them with you because that was just our warm-up. Because our activity today, and it's why I've been able to kind of push 2 lessons together, is we're going to be using a Colin and Coco video. And before I start, I'm just going to read you the Colin and Coco down here. So Colin, right below me, says that using coordinates, the first number is the horizontal movement. So that was what we said about the X. And the second number is the vertical movement, which is the Y. And it just says from the origin. So that's the corner where those points meet. Then Coco across the way says a point is described by the coordinate XY. So you can see that bracket and the comma in there, where the X is the horizontal distance from the origin and the Y is the vertical distance. Okay, let's have a look at our video then from Colin and Coco for this first lesson. Hopefully that's come up and you can see that there, and I will just be talking over it to help you. Okay, so this is our geometry unit. This is just the coordinates. So it says Colin is watching Coco fly around the ceiling. You can see him moving on the grid in lots of different ways there. He wonders how he could describe Coco's position. So let's go back and let's pause it on there. Have a look where Coco is at the moment. What could we do to describe that position? Hopefully some of you are saying we could say how far away it is from something else, but what we actually would need to do is pop the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way along the x-axis, which is the horizontal, and then do the same up the y, and then we could describe it. So if we were using our grid over here, we'd have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's 7 along the x-axis, so I do my bracket 7, and then he's 1, 2, 3 up. So you do bracket 7, comma 3, close bracket. Okay, let's have a look at the next bit. Okay. How can we describe position? So there we go, the x-axis on there and the y-axis on the left-hand side. Origin is right there in that center, so I said about where the points meet. And Coco has moved. So you could see that when she moved, I'm just going to pause that, when she moved along here first of all, and then up. And this is where she's now landed. Let's see what Colin's having to say. A point is described by the coordinate x, y, where the x is the horizontal distance from the origin and y is the vertical. So I'm going to pause it there. Where is Coco? How would you describe where she is? Hopefully you're telling me you would say that is brackets 4, 6, and then you close your brackets, or 4, 6. There we go. That's another one down there that's plonked on. Okay, so from this, just like we would do in school, these are already on your sheet. So on the first page of the home learning sheet that I've popped onto Dojo for you, onto the PDF, this is going to be the top left box. And what you can do is you can pause it. So we'll go through it and then pause it and go through it just like we do in school for these videos. Okay, it says using the coordinates, describe the positions of A, B, C, and D, or D and E. And this is the exact same one that you should have at the top of your sheet. So you can see just below my finger here, you've got what A, B, C, and D, and E should be. Remember, along the corridor one first, and then up the stairs, your X, and then your Y. So I'm going to pause it here for you, and then we'll mark it together in a second. Okay, hopefully you had a good go at that. I can't actually type onto this screen because it's the video, but I'm going to say the answers out loud for you. So A should have been 1, 2. B should be 2, 5. C should be 4, 3. D should be 2, 1. And E should be 5, 2. Hopefully you got those the right way around and you remembered your comma and you remembered the brackets. Okay, let's go on to the second one with you then. Digging a little bit deeper. Using coordinates, describe the position of, and very similar as last time. Just have a think about why this one's digging a bit deeper. Why is this one a bit harder? Maybe it's because some of them are actually on the origins. So have a go and see if you can work out these. Pause me, and then I'll come back out with the answers again in a moment. Okay, so again, I can't write on the screen here, but A should have been 2, 1. B, so you're along the corridor first, should be 0, 5. I apologise, it should be 0, 4. I'm looking at where the B is and not where the cross is. That's my fault. So I'm going to say that again. B should be 0, 4. C should be 4, 0. D should be 0, 2. And E should be 0, 0 or 0, 0. Well done if you got those ones right as well. Okay, digging a bit deeper again then. Colin is thinking about describing position. Both points are at 2, 5. That can't be right, says Coco. Explain. So I'm going to pause it here for you. Again, this is on the second row on the left-hand side on your sheet. Have a go. Why can't both of these be 2, 5? Okay, well done for having a go at that. If you have written anything like you need to go along the corridor and then up the stairs, you need to do the x-axis, then the y-axis, any of those are correct. And you could have even said that 2,5 is the top one. It's the one on the left here. That's showing it's the 2 that's gone along the corridor along the x, and then y because we do the horizontal and then the vertical. And the other one, if you wanted to say what it's not, the other one would be 5,2. Brilliant. Well done. If you got that, you can give that a tick if you want to. Okay, you'll go deeper in your challenge today then. So Colin is plotting points to spell out his name. What coordinates has he plotted? Find the coordinates to spell your name. So first task is all of the coordinates for Colin's name. And then secondly, it's all of them for your own name. And just remember, if you're doing your own name, you're going to have to do it in like block letters. Okay, let me pop back then just to my PowerPoint for now. And let's just remind you, without a new page, that these are the ones that you're looking at then. So these should be on your sheet already. You should have been able to do this one and this one and this one while we were working through it, and this is your go deeper task. Once you have finished that, if you are feeling really brave and want to challenge yourself, I would like to go through the second one with you. But if you're not, don't worry. But I'm going to go on to the second one now, because the second one is doing the same thing again, but this time you're going to be the ones plotting. So let's just show you the second one, just to give you an idea of what I would like you to do if you can. The first one was describe them. This one is plot them. So it's a very, very similar objective, which is why I've put them together. Okay. Coco is flying around Colin's bedroom. He has labeled lots of these places, and it says she lands at 4-2 on the corner of which piece of furniture has she landed? So have a look where 4-2 is. Is it on the corner of the bed, the corner of the wardrobe, the corner of the door? Where has she landed? Lovely. Hopefully you'll be able to say she's landed on the corner of the chair. 4 along the bottom and 2 up the top. Okay, like I said, in this second part of the lesson, which is very, very similar, it is just you plotting the points today. So what are the coordinates for these ones here? 1 and then 4. So we go 1 along and then 4 up, and then they pop them there. So today you are just doing it the other way around in this second part 1. Using coordinates, the first number is the horizontal movement and the second one is the vertical from that origin. So that's all that is different with this second part of the lesson. So if we watch Coco there, he's gone 3 along and then he's gone 2 up. So the 3 is the first and 2 is up. So if you're going to plot them, you draw that point afterwards. Okay, this is on the second page, this one here. So it's saying here to plot the points. This is on your sheet if you want to have a go. And what you might have to do is send me these once you're finished, because I can't actually draw on this screen for you. Pause the video here and have a go though, and I can at least hover my mouse over where they should be. Okay, so A, 4-1. You should have gone along the corridor on 4, up 1, and where my mouse is now should be where you've drawn your first X, just here. 2-3, we go along the bottom 2, then up 3. This is where you should have your second cross for B. C, 5 along the bottom, 4 up. This is where your point should be for C. D, 4 along the bottom, 5 up is where it should be for D. And finally, 1 along the bottom and 3 up for E. Okay, I'm actually going to skip on to the next bit. I'm going to let you do that go deeper bit without me. And I'm going to go on to the go deep and go deeper bits for this one. Okay, another grid at the top. And Coco is saying, this is the point for 2. Colin's then saying, do you agree with Coco? And then I'm sure he's going to say explain. Let's see. explain. Okay, again, I'm going to pause it here. You need to be explaining whether you agree with Coco and why. So pause the video now to have a go at that one. Okay, lovely. Hopefully you're saying, no, Coco has made a mistake. Coco has read the vertical and then the horizontal, which is the wrong way round. Coco has actually drawn 2-4 and not 4-2. And hopefully you can use some of that vocabulary to explain why. Okay, last but not least, if you have got this far onto the extra challenge for your Go Deeper to plot them, it says to sort the statements into the table. So is it always true, sometimes true, or never true? Joining coordinates with the same x value produces a vertical line. So if you had 2 on the x, would it be vertical? I shouldn't be showing you where I'm drawing. Drawing coordinates with the same y value is a horizontal, and joining coordinates with the same x and y. Convince Colin with examples. Okay. I am going to pop back finally to the end of that number 2. Oh, and I haven't actually popped that picture in there, so it's on your sheet for you instead. If you've managed to, or you are able to have a go at both of those, it just gives you a bit of an idea before you head up to year 5. And I know it's a very whistle-stop tour when we've come to coordinates, but I know you'll be brilliant. Can't wait to see your work if you choose to send this in to me or Mrs. Plews today, and good luck. Thanks very much. Bye for now.